the immediate aftermath of the Hamas terror attacks on Israel, anti-Semites came out of the woodwork for the whole world to see. One of the worst and most visible displays of anti-Jewish hatred occurred in Sydney, Australia, where 1,000 pro-Palestinian protesters gathered outside the Opera House and shouted "Gas" and "F the Jews."
It's important for us to show exactly what they're saying, because they're not even saying F the Israelis or F the Zionists. They're saying F the Jews. Listen to what they're saying. And that's what we've been arguing the whole time that this is about. This is not about, this is about their hatred towards Jews.
Australia's News 7 talked to Israel supporter Mark Spiro, who was arrested for displaying an Israeli flag at that event.
You've been arrested in relation to arrested
for doing what?
For what?
Having a flag.
Reaching the peace.
You see how this is in Oz? You're free to display Palestinian flags and shout anti-Semitic slogans, but displaying an Israeli flag gets you arrested. Here in the U.S., radio talk show host Jason Rantz posted a video of a rally in Seattle where protesters celebrated the slaughter of innocent Israeli civilians. And in Washington, D.C., Fox News correspondent Hillary Vaughn pressed squad member Michigan Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib about Hamas's brutality toward the Jewish people.
Do you condone what Hamas has done, chopping off babies' heads, burning children alive, raping women in the street?
As rescue teams recovered the bodies of innocent Israeli women and babies from the villages attacked by the Hamas terrorists, Tlaib and another member of the squad, Congresswoman Cori Bush, called for an end to U.S. assistance to Israel. Hamas murdered at least 1,200 Israelis in that attack. Proportionately, based on population, if an attack on that scale happened in the United States, that would be the equivalent of 44,000 Americans murdered in one attack. Folks, that's nearly 15 times more than the number of Americans that died in the 9/11 attacks in New York, the Pentagon, and Pennsylvania. As Bibi Netanyahu and the Israeli government plot their next move, may they have wisdom for an exit strategy. This could be a prolonged conflict lasting years. What then? Does anyone believe the Palestinians will give up the fight against Israel? They teach their children from a young age to kill Jews. They believe their justification comes from the Islamic holy book, the Quran, which states in Surah al-Baqarah 2:191, "Kill them wherever you find them, and expel them from wherever they have expelled you. And fitna, strife, is worse than killing." In 2022, the United States gave $344 million to the United Nations in support of Palestinian refugees. And in the past, some of that donated taxpayer funds have been used in UNRWA-financed schools for Palestinian children promoting anti-Semitic propaganda in textbooks and classroom instruction. Whether it's in the streets of Seattle, the halls of Congress, or Gaza, there should be no tolerance of anti-Semitism. And those who enable it through tax dollars, speech, and actions are guilty of fitna, causing strife. In my book, it's not worse than killing, but as we've seen, it leads to brutality, atrocities, murder, and destruction. So keep praying for the peace of Jerusalem, the lives of innocents to be spared, and God's will to be done in Gaza, Israel, and throughout the world. Well, that's it today from the Global Lane. Be sure to follow us on the CBN News and NRB channels, YouTube, iTunes, and Rumble. And until next time, be blessed.